Hello, welcome to another episode of Occult Chat. I'm Alex Harper, joined by my co-hosts Hope and Cooper. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello,
Hi,
I'm doing great. How are
I'm
Yeah,
feeling
you?
alive.
I just wanted to start out the stream by saying that like the energy right now is pretty crazy. Like it's like trying to ride a wild horse or something like that. It's like this whirling beam of it. Yeah, the eclipses are definitely here. The news is absolutely insane, right? Like
Oh, right.
all this stuff about Anthropic and the Department of War, that stuff's crazy. Where they, yeah, and now apparently the Pentagon is still trying to negotiate with them, even though they're acting like they're not. That's the rumor.
Oh, well,
So,
then Trump had a meltdown. That
mm,
was fun. Where
What was the
we
meltdown? Can you remind me
banning
what it is?
all, or well, I don't even think he can do this, but effectively saying that they can't use any Anthropic products at all. So they're supposed to immediately stop using everything, which is an
Okay, so
insane
I'm completely out of touch right now. I have no idea what you guys are talking
stay
about.
out of touch.
I want to know
The,
though.
yeah, I just saw it.
It just happened right
Admittedly,
now.
no, I saw somebody talking
Oh,
about
you
it.
just you
Not that.
you just saw it. Doesn't mean it just happened, right?
Yeah.
So basically, the Department of War wanted to use Claude for like autonomous weapons, and
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Anthropic said no. And now, and then what was really funny was Elon Musk offered up Grok for autonomous weapons, and like the Department of War was basically like, haha, are you crazy?
Really?
Yeah, they like
For
immediately
killing
declined it.
everybody.
Like, they're not interested in Grok having control of this. So that's really funny.
Claude really is like the cool kid on the block right now. That does seem to be the like top AI in terms of popularity and usage by
Yeah, it's
mainframe
Claude
companies
seems
and
to
whatnot.
like have a soul, seems to like be like kind of
So
conscious
like
to
the
an
only
extent.
like the
Mhm.
most soul like the one who seems to have the most ethics in terms of the company itself and the model itself.
Which was the cause of the blow up because the owner or CEO or someone important
Hmm.
basically stepped down from the company saying they were concerned about the way it was being integrated into military technologies and that they didn't want to be an active part of that, right? So that then prompts Trump to go crazy about 2 hours ago, calling it a radical left AI company run by people who have no idea what the real world is about. And then Hegseth, 13 minutes thereafter,
Look, it's so
designates it as a
annoying.
supply chain risk to national security. So now every national contract or anybody who is a national contractor who uses Claude, engages with Claude, is now violating the terms of their contract. Or any Anthropic product, which is insane given that how much effort has gone into integrating Anthropic's products throughout the government.
Wow.
So not only did we get like we are the head of, so to put this in Terminator terms, like where are we from Skynet?
Okay.
The head of Skynet said the government wants us to put our robot in charge of all of its weapons. I can't ethically be a part of that because I know that that is bad. So I'm stepping down and doing this huge public thing. And then the president of this country was like,
Right.
no, we need to stop all of this liberal hippie nonsense, ban this company. They're a threat to America. Let's go with Grok. I suspect that is literally what's going to happen. Is that we are going to,
So I
or
think this is
someone
like
will step up. It'll be OpenAI's way to keep their budget afloat. But either way, grim.
I think that this is like the perfect time for me to have found my latest hyperfixation. Um it's so I just finished watching this anime that was only one season long. And then I started immediately reading the manga and it's like taken over my life. It's what I'm doing at any free moment I have right now. So that's why I didn't even know that this whole like fraud and Trump drama. So yeah, go and find yourself a hyperfixation, everybody. I think that's
You said the magic word. Which one is it? What are you watching? You're
it's
reading on
Nina,
that.
the Starry Bride.
I'm not familiar. What's it about?
You're not
Are you guys
familiar. Oh
hearing
my
some kind of
gosh.
echo?
Is there an echo? Hold on. Maybe it's me. Let me get my AirPods.
The thing was giving me a error about the chat, but it's gone now. It's weird. Anyway, the subject tonight is not AI, although we
Right.
could go on and on about that. The
Nor
subject,
anime.
yeah.
Edward is watching us. Oh my god.
Well, yeah. All right. For Edward's benefit, you guys just talk about the anime. Then you were going to before you jumped off.
You know what? I think that actually everyone here might find it interesting. So it's this anime about this girl who is of the star people. And the star people can divinate, they can meet the stars.
What's the name of it again for
It's
everyone?
called Nina, the Starry Bride.
All right.
So she's a descendant of the star people, but she doesn't know it. Oh wait, am I doing spoilers like from the start? I think I am. You know what? It's my own theory about the anime. Just to summarize real quick, it's just set in ancient times. It's an anime set in ancient times. It seems like set in ancient Mesopotamia, which I love. And I'm sure all the traditional astrologers would too. It's very interesting. And it also involves magic and involves the themes of fate and Stoic philosophy. It's kind of all interweaved into it. It really feels like you're watching an anime from not like ancient Rome, but a similar adjacent civilization that really felt like their fate was completely set by the moment at which they were born. So there's a lot of like themes of like, well, I was born under an unlucky star, so this is my fate. That kind of narrative is interweaved into the show. So anyone that's taken Chris Brennan's Hellenistic astrology course or has done any has any interest in Hellenistic philosophy and Stoic philosophy would find it interesting. It's good. Really, really good.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks cute. Looks like it's on Netflix.
Crunchyroll, actually.
That makes more sense.
Nice. Well, if you're interested, check it out. Yeah, I mean, there does seem to have, themes of like from eclipse season, where the, fated things are happening. And I don't know, I definitely feel that right now. The window is like, everything's wonky, the veil's thin. I don't know.
Yeah, the
What do
veil's
you guys
super thin.
sense?
Well,
The veil is tired. But yeah, thin might just be my take on things.
I have a lot of things happening in my life, like personally. And the eclipse just happened on my Saturn, the solar eclipse, like to the degree, basically. And there's a lot of big changes happening in my life right now. And my smoking intake has actually increased, which I've noticed seems to happen whenever there's some sort of like malefic activation. But eclipses happen 4 times a year.
Well,
like
twice.
no, I mean there's 2 eclipse seasons, but there's 4 eclipses.
Well, yes, that's true.
Yeah, so there's 4 eclipses. I mean, and 2 eclipse seasons.
And then the sun and the lunations, like in the signs that square the nodes, I feel like are mini eclipses. I feel like those are wonky. I've been paying attention to that for a while, and I feel like like right now, the nodes have been in tropical Pisces and Virgo. And so the full moons in Gemini and Sagittarius have had kind of like mini eclipse like feelings to them during that time.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. There always seems to be like an uptick in really big news too during
Yeah,
those
yeah.
points.
Yeah, yeah. It's like times when like there's mundane stuff is increased, like news headlines and things like that, like important geopolitical events.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Often occur during eclipses or at the midpoint between eclipses. We're just waiting for Cooper to come back, and then we can start. We're gonna watch a video about these witchcraft murders. Yeah, I don't know. It's so because our last episode was about Epstein, right? And how he might actually have, killed people in some ritualistic manner. But, for a long time, there has been a practice of using, themes of it being occult or satanic in order to sensationalize claims in the media. And, it cuts both ways, basically, right? Like, there's been a few things in the Satanic Panic that turned out to be, kind of suspicious. Other ones, not so much. It seems like something else might be going on here, right? So I don't know. I thought it'd be interesting to do an episode about this because we can kind of show the other side to things. Like, all right, yeah, Epstein might be doing weird magic rituals on his islands and he might be doing human sacrifices, but like, you know, allegations of occult human sacrifice have a spotty history, right?
So I tend to yap about this particular time in American history quite a lot, because if you're looking at why are we here, right? Like, if a big sociological question, how did the United States, when I say we, get to where it is? And admittedly, this whole global movement toward fascistic right wing thought, right? It's really pronounced here, but it's not isolated to the US. And I would make a very strong argument that it starts with the Satanic Panic and a revival of what is effectively, maybe you could make the argument it's a continuation of the Red Scare. Like, that's a fair claim to make, but it's a return to um, government leaders ruling through fear and actively stoking that fear to maintain social control and hegemony, and what that looks like. So it starts with, if you're not familiar, when I talk about the Red Scare, McCarthyism maybe pings a memory. He was a Wisconsin state senator, I believe. He
And
was a
then,
Wisconsin senator. He wasn't a state senator. Um,
he was
and
a member of Congress, federal level, not state. Yeah.
and so he led the charge against communists. In particular, he really just accused anyone he didn't like or anybody who opposed his political enemies of being communists. And once you were accused, you were a communist. It destroyed people's careers. It was largely focused in Hollywood. A lot of actors were targeted. Other politicians, certainly journalists, activists, anybody who was in any way against the military industrial complex having like completely unified control over the federal government, big problem. Then we move into the hippie era, right, where it's everyone's these hippie, and they're these dirty, awful people, and there's these lesbians out there, and they're burning bras, and
Yeah.
they're
Well, yeah,
not
and
going to
kind of
war.
in between those two times, the CIA did Project Mockingbird, where they basically embedded the CIA agents into like every major media outlet. All of them had undercover CIA agents working for them. This was admitted in congressional testimony in the mid 1970s, where they admitted that back in the 1950s, the CIA had infiltrated every domestic media outlet, right? And so, in between the time we go from the McCarthyism scare to, this drug, hippie, satanic, panic stuff, we have the CIA infiltrating the American media, right? And it's kind of been the same since. And I mean, yeah, go
There
on,
was also
Cooper. I was
MK
great.
Ultra, right, which directly follows from Project Mockingbird.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which many have made the argument, and I think it's pretty. There's basically the idea is that CIA accidentally caused the hippie movement through MK Ultra because they distributed acid throughout
Well,
the
they
public because they
caused it
wanted to
on
see what would
purpose.
happen.
They caused
And
it
then,
because it's really the allegations they caused on purpose because Timothy Leary is supposedly
well, and
CIA,
Kinsey has
right?
also potentially did have ties, certainly was funded, but a lot of people were funded and didn't know they were being funded through the CIA.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, but that's how the
Need to
CIA
defend
operates is like,
yeah.
they're in charge of the record labels, so they decide which acts to sign, right? And so when people talk about how gangster rap is like a CIA op to like elevate the most like awful aspects in Black culture and the most materialistic and violent aspects of it and glorify that, and when people say that, what they mean is that the people in the CIA are in like charge of who's signing who, right? And so if you control who gets the record deals, then you can take organic movements on their own to decide which ones to fertilize, which ones to give money to, and which ones to starve, right? And so like, conscious rap or like political rap, like, they don't get the promotion, they don't get like all the advertising dollars behind them. They're on indie record labels where, they're selling like, their albums are going gold instead of platinum, right? So that's the way when people talk about the CIA's influence in things like media and music and things like that, like it happens by controlling like the flow of money.
This might be too granular of a question, but I'm curious to know. I'm just trying to think like how would the CIA fund these fund, let's say, certain
Through money
record
made
labels.
from drug trafficking and human trafficking and all black market activities.
And they also just have like, right. So that's kind of the talk about like a black budget. If you've ever heard that,
Mm-mm.
that's part of it. Um, there is also a lot of America's like wealthiest elites were involved in more so the OSO, which is the precursor to the CIA. And so like the Rothschilds were involved, the Bushes were involved. I'm certain you could rattle off a bunch more if you Google it. Um, not
So
untrue.
in response to this, so someone says the CIA is why modern poetry is so dog shit. Now, I will say that I think poetry is an exception because poetry is kind of like uniquely difficult art form to be good, right? Like if we consider like, maybe all music that's ever been made, right? I would say like maybe 10% of it is like listenable and like might actually have some merit. But like with poetry, it's like 1% of all that's ever been
Oh, I've
produced,
heard this argument before that he makes.
So it's like it's just much more difficult to like write a really good poem. I don't know. I think it's just like very hard.
That is true. Objectively speaking, great poetry is very difficult. Um, but I also think there's something to be said about like the oh God, where was it? Somebody wrote an article somewhere, which I found a little bit ironic, about MBAs ruining literature, particularly like high literature and lit magazines and things like that. The idea being the only people who get accepted into these publications and the only people who can really make their money as writers have to go through the academic machine, and to get an particularly a higher education in English literature, someone has to be paying your bills, or you are just completely blind to the amount of money that you're spending to hopefully get a teaching job. So what
Here you just
the
have a
critique
wealthy
there
family.
being, yeah, so the reality of it then is that it's basically a very very small group of elites and people who write to those elites and can get funded through the 5 or 6 poetry fellowships that are out there. And so
That makes sense. Yeah.
you have to go through all of these institutions, all of which are gated by a number of systems, right? So if you can't get into a university as an undergrad, you're done. You don't get to be a serious writer anymore. And that poetry in particular struggles with that. If you don't go to a master's program and you don't go to the right master's program, it doesn't matter. So if you go to your local decent university and get a master's in lit, you're not in it. One of my dearest friends has a master's in English literature from Cambridge, and it is fucking worthless. I believe, sells shoes still. So even when you go through the machine, if you're not what they're looking for, you're done, and there just isn't a market for poetry, right? So when we talk about how do arts survive, well, they have to be government funded, and the United States doesn't fund arts directly. We sometimes do indirectly, but what we do have are a lot of private philanthropic interests who just so happen to have a bunch of ties to the government and get a bunch of grant money from the government and then fund it through the arts. And wouldn't you know, that adds yet a third gating mechanism in which you are allowed to discriminate and just overtly pick what you like, right? MPOs. And that's how you get poetry being shit, or high lit being shit, or
Also,
high film being shit, right? If it wasn't for the internet, I suspect film culture would be absolutely garbage. I think streaming saved film from itself. But that's a completely separate argument. The gist of it being, meritocracy in the United States has been actively pushed as a means to keep people from the lower classes from gaining access to institutional power.
Absolutely. Yeah. 100% agree with that. The older I get, though, increasingly more I start to wonder why anyone goes to school at all, which I know sounds like a very extreme statement to make, but in a lot of ways, like, you don't need to go to school.
It's like,
I don't want to get into it.
It's a great networking opportunity, and I wish I had understood that better as an undergrad. I'll say
Me too. Yeah, I did not make the most of my resources.
I really thought learning shit would be worthwhile, and to be fair, it has played out great for me. But
you know a lot of shit.
I do, but turns out autism and ADHD, so I would have just kept learning shit completely without that. But it was helpful. So before we totally get lost in the weeds of history and all of this stuff, let's catch up to where this story starts. So the case in question, so this show, it's on Hulu. It's called Out There, Crimes of the Paranormal. They've got a bunch of different episodes. They do fun little, I like there's, we'll be watching bits and pieces of this one. I like their silhouette cutouts and explanations, but this one focuses on allegations of witchcraft murders, which we touched on. And when we get, this is prior to the peak of the Satanic Panic. So the Satanic Panic really hits its stride in the mid-1980s. And then it dies out pretty quick after that. Most movements will take a while to build up, and then they'll get there, and then they'll burn down. This case played a big role in accelerating the Satanic Panic. It was often pointed to as, look, it was reported in the papers. Look, the police are saying it. And we'll cover this as we watch the show, but it's an interesting case. It's set up perfectly, right? A young woman goes hitchhiking. She's out with some friends. She's been writing in her diary about meeting with these men. She's got maybe a reputation at school of being a bad girl. Maybe she's a born-again Christian who's found herself and is finally living life and being a normal teenager, right? They raise all of these questions, and then we're left with the ultimate unexplained and to this day unsolved murder of Jeannette DePalma. So she's found in an area that the locals call the Devil's Teeth. She is reported by some to have been surrounded by crosses or pentagrams or contained within a coffin-like structure. Other people said none of that was true. The crime scene photos are, it's not true. But what's very interesting is, why did they jump to this? Because this is before the Satanic Panic, right? This is before satanic ritual abuse and these kinds of crimes were everywhere and anywhere, and everything was being lumped in with this. There's a lot going on there. Is it possible that witches did it? Maybe. It's certainly fascinating that they couldn't find a cause of death. A practical Cooper would say, yeah, she had been outside for a number of days in a cliff area. I bet it would have been really hard to decide what exactly killed her. Other people say unofficial cause of death was strangulation and that they just couldn't conclusively prove it. The case is not a homicide, which has also prevented outside law enforcement investigation, outside law enforcement agencies from conducting any investigations. So it is mysterious. It is weird. There is something occult at work here, but this label of witchcraft gets thrown on it and is believed for quite a long time. And it opens, as we'll see, on people who believe that it was witches, or that it was something occult, that there was some sort of otherworldly cause or reasoning behind this woman's death, and it leads to particularly the strengthening of the evangelical church. So that goes back to my original rant I started 15 minutes ago about how does all of this lead to today? Well, the evangelicals got their inroads through the Satanic Panic. That's how police started to work with ministers to be occult experts, would advise them on cases where the case might be like Damian Nichols. He liked Metallica. He played D&D. Okay, he must be a Satanist. He was a practicing Wiccan, right, and talked openly about that. So that must mean he's a murderer and a child murderer, right? This is what is the crime? The Memphis 3? Yeah, that's it. Plenty of documentaries out there. Fantastic case. Covers the Satanic Panic pretty well. This is before that. So not only does it feed into that, but then the evangelicals pick up steam. We move into the 90s, which is this era of good feelings. That completely collapses, and we end up with 9/11 taking place and the rise of the Muslim witch, right? So that then gets replaced with the liberal or Democrat or woke. Trans folks were under that witch hysteria for a while, still are. It is their bread and butter. It is their methodology. They write about it. They talk about it internally. This is purposeful. And so it's really interesting as we watch this to at once consider there are people who believe this. There are people who are sincerely, I want to say sincerely dumb enough to believe this, but we do live in a world, right, where our president probably participated in eating babies, or at least knew about people eating babies. I understand why.
Yeah, he definitely knew people who ate babies. Did he eat babies? Sure.
Yeah, the craziest thing is that these these allegations of satanic or rituals, deaths and sacrifices are they're not outside the realm of possibility. It happens. So it's you know what I mean? You can throw it around.
Richard Chase, right? Although he wasn't necessarily doing satanic murders, he was going around in rituals. And there were a few serial killers.
There's been a lot of serial killers that build altars and stuff like this, and where there's ritualistic
tends to
elements
be accompanied by a severe psychosis, and
yes,
you can tell, right? It's usually really obvious, which we can discuss that here. We also have a palate cleanser for you all at the end. I don't want to spoil it. I just want to say I went to this location this fall in October. It was lovely. It was beautiful. I did in fact see these people. I did not go talk to these people. So if you follow my Twitter, you know probably what I'm talking about. If you don't, I hope you enjoy this, because we're going to see some real life witch crimes and drama. But no more spoilers.
Okay, so before I play, is that the YouTube link you sent me?
Yes.
Okay, so I only have that queued up. I do not have the main thing queued up. I apologize. I thought that was the main thing.
Okay.
Okay, nope. So we need to find the episode. Let me find that.
Yeah, it's episode 4, season 1.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch this. This is gonna be my first genuine reaction to this.
The pro-natalist movement is just agriculture. That is some very The Matrix thinking, and unfortunately not wrong.
What's a pro? You know what? We're gonna go down another
Pro-natalist is pro-birth.
pro-birth. Oh,
Yeah, what pro-life, but really they only care about making babies. They don't actually care about the quality of life. So pro-natalist.
Pro-natalist movement is just agriculture.
So I'll vamp a little bit here. One of the things that I want to talk about with this, I'm kind of they do touch on this. They pitch the theory. The documentary is critical. We will get some of the critical perspective too. But there are a lot of people already, folks who were on Occult Twitter, Astro Twitter, whatever, YouTube, TikTokers, who are starting to make their pivot to alt-right Christianity. Happens a lot. It's pretty much been the textbook cycle of how this goes since the Satanic Panic, right? So you're going to come out hard as a new ager searching for truth. You're going to delve into something. It's going to bite you in the ass. You're going to accuse everyone of being evil. You're going to find Jesus and you rant about how witches are evil and tarot is bad. You do not have to, you can spin around at any new agey spiritual conference and you will find 15 of these people, right? They are the majority of these people. When we talk about like who buys crystals and stuff like that, it's these folks, right? There are, I'm not going to name names, but there are people who have already started that turn. There are people who are working on that turn and people who, you know, haven't yet, but I'm like, okay, you'll flip soon. And that's part of the reality of this world, because you've always got these two balances, right? You've got seekers who are looking for something, and then you've got seekers who are looking for the truth. And which of those two is more dangerous, I don't know. But in my humble, it's seekers who are looking for something that are dangerous, because they will go to whatever is the most immediately useful to their circumstances. And so that's why, if you don't know, the hippies all became evangelical ministers, right? That's the pine plan. When we look at our current moment in history, where we are, so I didn't want to make this just a Satanic Panic episode. I'm so sorry. When these events rise up, it's typically at a point when the American government has heavily centralized and is really fucking corrupt. So like, when we talk about going all the way back to the Salem witch hunts, the big to-do there was that the Puritans were losing control and they were starting to have to allow foreigners into Massachusetts. You didn't have to be a Puritan to be able to vote anymore. And that was a huge problem for them. And wouldn't you know it, these witch hunts were a great way to say, everybody needs to go back to the church and we need to make Massachusetts great again. And we're going to do that by hanging witches. And won't that be amazing? It comes up over and over and over and over and over again throughout American history. And certainly elsewhere, but we tend to do it specifically when the ruling government is concentrated against a majority of the people, right? So immigration tends to be a big factor of it. So too does economic collapse. And wouldn't you know it, we're in a period of massive immigration, large economic collapse, and a gross centralization of economic and political power. And here we are. Literally, again, just in case you think I'm hee-hee-ha-haing, many of the major pastors in this country every single week go and preach there are witches in the government. There are Democrats are witches. They are using spells to try and harm President Trump. They're faking all of this. This is their illusions. They are harming our children. They're out there. These people go to these churches and give away all of their money and really still believe this. And they're not slowing down in power, right? Most Americans are moving away from religion, but that group of Americans are still as into it as ever. So these kinds of stories are still taking place, and this kind of documentary will be made about many, many stories going on today. And fearfully in the coming years, I think that's really when this is going to hit.
Yeah, I agree. That's something that Alex and I are talking about, just how with all of the stuff that's coming out in the Epstein files and with the growing, I think, awareness in the United States and outside in general, there is a little bit of a fear for, I think, for like us as occultists and those that practice magic and practice witchcraft to perhaps come under another type of like scrutiny. So it's definitely a concerning time. From now, I'm sure it'll get worse next year. Up until 2030, perhaps. I don't want to like fear monger or anything, but just in general, so it's a very chaotic time, and not in terms of, oh, this is all new, history rhymes. So I'm really glad that you're, I think, setting the stage, not just for this episode, but I think just for the atmosphere of the culture of magic.
And I believe there was a recent law to recriminalize fortune telling.
Oh, I've seen that. Did something else come up recently?
I thought so, but I'm not finding anything. So that's good. I know it comes up and is often proposed, but it doesn't look like it was taken seriously. So that's good.
All right. Hopefully the audio works. Can you tell me if you guys can hear this?
Okay.
Can you hear it?
No.
No.
All right. We're being blocked from trying to stream this clearly. By who?
Yeah, it worked last week.
Okay, then
clearly this is well,
did you
because
grab
you guys can't even see it, can you?
No, we can see it.
I clicked the wrong thing. No, we can't, Alex. Yeah, it's blacked out. They've
Oh, it is blacked out. It is blacked out.
Do you have the weird New Jersey link I sent? If not, I will send it right now. Okay, they have a great YouTube video that covers this. They are much more critical, as they should.
Cooper thinking on his feet.
Hey, wouldn't you know, when Cooper begs for an episode to be produced, he has backups, even if he didn't help actually produce it. Was it in Minnesota? Oh, no. Okay, good. I hope not. I would be heartbroken, but it wouldn't shock me.
So can you see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so there's a YouTube video linked.
I believe it's right at the bottom.
Here we go.
And it's a quickie. I think this is like 5 minutes.
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be able to hear it. Unless you're pulling in audio from your screen.
Yeah, I thought it was set to that. I don't.
Mercury's retrograde.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's stationed retrograde yesterday, I think. It's in Pisces, so yippee. Actually, in my life, this Mercury retrograde's been awesome so far. Things are finally coming together.
I've had mixed experiences.
With the Mercury retrograde in Pisces?
Yeah, it's usually... Mercury retrogrades tend not to be too terrible for me. So while we're prepping this...
I got a workaround. I can get it up.
Okay, do we want to play one of our palette cleansers? Because there are a couple of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. I'll do part one. Well, go ahead.
No. Let's just play it without commentary.
All right.
Salem, Massachusetts, a picturesque New England town well known for its rich nautical history, pristine Federalist architecture, and of course, for executing witches.
It's a fairly notorious history. Salem, at one point in time, actually convicted people, wrongly accused them of being witches.
So it may surprise you to learn that 300 years after their notorious witch trials, Salem has become Witch Central.
I've heard that as many as 10% of the population of Salem are modern witches.
Christian Day and Leanne Marama are full-time Salem witches. And we're not talking earth motherly, nature-loving, Wicca-style witches. No, these are the hardcore, spell-casting, potion-making, hex-laying, old-school witches.
It feels absolutely fantastic to be a witch.
Witchcraft.
Pause it.
When I cast a spell, it works.
Alex, you can't leave us! Oh wait, I have pause
my-
powers. Okay, this is why I will never allow anyone to film me doing witchcraft, because I know I will look exactly like you.
Hey, Alan, can you go back? Can you rewind so I can watch it again?
Making Hexa-style witches. No, these are the hardcore, spell-casting, potion-making, hex-laying,
That's her big old titties hanging out.
witches.
Yeah. Yep. You can't have that on the internet.
Yeah, I
No,
can't. I
sir.
can never.
No, sir.
This is as much as anyone needs to hear me talking about witchcraft, because I just can't. I can't.
I will wear really heavy eyeliner on the next stream just for you. I'll do it.
We will put theater makeup
I'll
on.
do it.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll put on the heavy
I'll do like full goth. I'll go full goth. Yeah.
This is amazing. Wait.
But we have to get to the
Someone
other
asked
main
for
character.
closed captions, and it's like, yeah, sorry, we're clearly stupid and don't know how to operate this technology, and so this is as best we've got. Apologies.
No, the closed captions was when we couldn't hear, when we thought that we couldn't hear.
Well, you guys
But
can
we
hear
can-
this video.
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. We
As
can
long
all
as you
hear it.
upload the video itself, it's fine. The screen
Yeah,
grab
yeah.
just wouldn't let
It
us.
feels absolutely fantastic
Okay,
to
sorry.
be a witch.
Witchcraft
the other main
drives
character.
me.
It's not her.
When I cast a spell, it works.
To them, witchcraft is not just a
Oh,
hobby,
does the first one
and
focus
it's
on
not a religion. It is a magnificent obsession.
That's the title of the show.
What the
We
fuck
need to
is
get
this
back to
show?
these kinds of like unscripted shows. When did we just go around and point cameras at people and be like, look at these freaks? I miss that.
Witchcraft. Hear the word and you think of brooms, black cats, and dead of night.
The thing with like, look at these freaks now, it's just like streaming. It's just like IRL streaming. Replace that is like,
To be fair.
it's like a window into like some weird freak of nature's life. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna open up Kick and like click on the first person that like looks weird. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I'm heartbroken. This one doesn't have the character that I love.
I have all three
Big-
parts.
Okay,
Oh,
amazing. Because what happens is they do this episode and then they get approached to do a TV show, and they filmed a pilot for the TV show, but they never released the actual show. But they've released the pilot in parts, and I do believe we have the other two parts. The gay witchy guy is one of the main characters, and then not her, not the busty, the brown-haired lady. Her! Ah! Yes, she's... Oh, my God.
Journey. It's about living our lives every day in a place of magic.
But how does one become a witch? Is it something you learn or something you're born with?
I believe that I was born with the talents of a witch, with the ability to see and hear
See, this
things that
again,
aren't
I will never,
necessarily
ever
here
talk
with
about
us
this
in the
again.
physical realm.
I always had very strange experiences as a child that made me more perceptive, I think, than others.
My grandmother taught me, and from there I've learned so many different traditional things. My grandmother did dream interpretations, and my grandfather was a broom maker in Italy. We all have a little magic in us.
I've traced our ancestry back to 969 AD. One in 1347 was burned in the marketplace of Messina, Sicily, because she was healing the people during the bubonic plague. And my ancestor Giordano Bruno was burned in the Inquisition. He said that the earth went around the sun. He said the truth. He was before his time.
These are real people, right? I'm just
Oh yeah, no, these you can go see.
Completely real people.
I kind of like the old woman. Like she is awesome,
amazing. And so
like,
you will see they set it up in the next show. They don't do it in this one. She and him, the Christian Day, beef. And they're cursing each other. He's outside her shop putting a hex on it, trying to banish people. And so she's outside his shop with a cigarette, telling everybody that he hexed me, he cursed me, blah, blah, blah. I can't wait till we get there, you guys. So please ride out through the very serious murder of Jeannette so that we can get to the really fun, maybe people need to not take magic so seriously. From someone who takes magic very seriously. And having visited Salem, I can promise you these people are very real. And this is very much so what that's like.
Yeah, do you want me to switch to
I was going to say, do we want to jump into the murder video?
Yeah, let me get it. I have to upload it. I couldn't upload it and also have the other video on the screen. Apologies. So if you want to change the configuration, it's actually, I don't think you can. Here we go.
How do I do it?
Once it processes, we will be able to watch it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, technical difficulties.
Like we said.
Mercury stationing retrograde.
Yeah.
There's no point. We're gonna finally learn OBS soon, and then we won't have to deal with this.
Also true.
Oh,
here we go.
The word was she was sacrificed by witches.
It was a case that shook a small New Jersey community to its core. On August 7th, 1972, 16-year-old Jeannette DePalma walked out of her suburban Springfield home and into the realm of urban legend. She had planned to hitchhike to a friend's house before an afternoon shift at work. She would never make it.
I was on patrol and a call had come in that a dog had brought a four-armed hand home to its owner.
6 weeks after seeming to have vanished into thin air, the body of Jeannette DePalma was found after a local dog brought the teenager's decomposed arm back to its owner.
When I got there, I figured it was going to be a mannequin's arm, and I looked at it and I said, this is human. I radioed headquarters. They decided that we better have a search party.
A search party discovered the rest of her remains high atop a cliff inside an abandoned quarry. For decades, this jagged outcropping of rock had been known to locals as the Devil's Teeth. The girl's body was so badly decomposed that a cause of death could not be determined. According to the first responders who climbed the Devil's Teeth, Jeannette was found surrounded by occult objects, suggesting that some kind of ritual sacrifice had taken place.
It looked like some sort of ritual had taken place. Once you see death, you don't forget the smell.
While the police and the public were being distracted by these bizarre rumors, connections to other strange events occurring in the area were being overlooked, including the deaths of several other young women close by.
Even before we started investigating this case, we knew that that whole area around the Watchung Reservation was just a very unusual hotbed of activity. A lot of it had to do with murder. It was a very unusual time. You had the DePalma murder. You had other famous murders at the time, like the List, where John List killed his whole family, and you had the story of the boy who killed his parents with an axe and then went and jumped off a suicide tower.
As time went on, the DePalma case vanished from the headlines, and the residents of Springfield seemed more than happy to forget the event, despite the fact that no arrests were ever made.
There are rumors that imply that the Springfield police force was not trained well enough or not accustomed to a crime of this nature. It was 1972, forensic science was in its infancy. The term serial killer hadn't even been coined yet.
Then, in the late 1990s, anonymous letters began to flood the office of a local independent magazine called Weird New Jersey. As Weird New Jersey's Mark Moran and Jesse Pollack tried to research this almost mythic cold case, they encountered numerous roadblocks, such as the Springfield police claiming to have lost Jeannette's case.
Oh.
Ooh. Ooh. What are you
I
doing?
didn't mean for that to happen.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you
The
fixed
word
it. Sorry.
was she was
The field seemed more than happy to forget the event.
The term serial killer had.
As Weird New Jersey's Mark Moran and Jesse Pollack tried to research this almost mythic cold case, they encountered numerous roadblocks, such as the Springfield police claiming to have lost Jeannette's case file in a flood, and the hesitancy of the slain teenager's acquaintances to go on the record.
All right, that's weird. The losing the file in a flood is very suspicious. That's, yeah.
To tell what they knew. Undeterred, Pollack and Moran continued to dig deeper into this mysterious and baffling case, and shocking discoveries would be made. Now, 4 decades after the murder of Jeannette DePalma, the truth can finally be told.
If this book doesn't get the case solved, I don't think it ever will be.
Here's the
And have they solved the case?
Wouldn't you know it, more or less. But the gist of it being, and to add to the complete fuck up of the police, the officer responding on the scene picks up her purse, searches it for drugs, throws it somewhere, and then it's gone when he sends junior deputies to go pick it up hours later. That is never mentioned in any of the police files, but the retired detective whose partner was working on the case and obviously worked on it himself is like, yeah, no, that happened. We just didn't care because we thought she was a druggie because they couldn't tell why she had died. And so
yeah, cops are lazy and incompetent most of the time.
Their argument is that so Jeannette writes in her journal about 2 weeks before her murder that she's been kind of flirting with these guys, you know. There's one guy, she doesn't name who it is, but you know, they're out. He keeps trying to get her drunk. He's giving her Southern Comfort. They get to making out, but she stops him from doing anything further.
Mm-hmm.
And then the night of her murder, she's seen out with another girl and 3 men, one of whom is believed to have been that guy. The police never bothered investigating any of this, despite a number of people reporting who those people were. And the authors of this book argue that one of those boys was the son of a police officer. And so that's why they ultimately refused to investigate it. And It was a police officer who said it was a ritual murder. It was the police who said...
That's what I was going to... Yeah.
Because the big thing here is that it's usually the media, right? Like, typically the media is going to jump to like, could this be staged? Or there's the victim's family will make that leap. In this case, the victim's family fought against that. But the police and the media both joined together to only talk about that narrative, which served to obviously keep any conversation away from why hasn't there been a cause of death ruled in this case, when a number of people went on record saying it was strangulation. A number of officers in the case said the coroner had evidence enough to rule that it was strangulation, that there was probable cause to investigate this as a murder, but they never made that ruling. It is still to this day a suspicious death. That prevents outside agencies from being able to come in, right? So if there's a murder and I think the cops in my town are involved, I can go to the state agency and say, I think you need to come and take this investigation over because I have reason to believe the police are involved, right? Something like that. Does it always actually happen? No, but you have some manner of recourse. There's nothing here.
Yeah, the fact that it's not even an open case makes me think that someone in power is the one that killed this person, because they're like basically keeping a lid on it and saying, oh, it's some drifter that came into the satanic ritual, right? Like when no, it's probably like the chief of police's like son or something, or
I just have to
the
say,
mayor, or
I just have to say that this is clearly like a tragic thing that happened, and it's so much injustice, and it's so unfair to the victim and her family and her loved ones. But like hearing about a crime that's like localized to that area rather than something that is the insane Epstein network, which I understand Epstein is just a node within a larger network. And I don't want to like keep bringing everything back to the Epstein files, but
No, that's okay. We
but
should.
it's like,
about
but it's
it.
kind of, it's not like nice, but it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. Like corruption happens at every level. you
Yeah.
know?
Well, and that like it's almost like, oh, it's just a normal murder.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, it's like a normal murder, like
victim and his
like
dad.
a normal case of corruption.
America as usual.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of feel like I'm in like the 90s again.
And again, that goes back to the whole like psyop of the Epstein files and all of that. We're desensitizing people from violence and lowering our threshold for what is outrageous is purposeful.
Yeah,
And
for
I
sure.
don't say that those things are untrue, but
Yeah.
it's an old tactic.
Because if something like this happened like now, I think that everyone is so desensitized to these types of stories that it's like, oh, okay, well, what else, right? Because you just got to keep scrolling to see the next sensational story. It's just like such a different, simpler time.
It's definitely different. But hold on.
I mean, all of this was going on back then, Hope. It just was hidden better.
No, I know, but I'm saying like as like a regular old citizen, right, who grew up in that era, it's just like living in 2026, like the experience of just like the experience as a member of society is just different, right? Between now, 2026, and like 2000, right? 2005, 1999. It's just completely different.
So I just shot a link over because I was curious. When was the last murder that was blamed on witchcraft? This week. Out in Washington.
Let me share the screen. Yeah.
So this article is actually dated today, covering a crime that took place earlier this week. This is from WKRC, the local 12. Hey, we love local 12 stations. So, gist of this one seems to be the husband.
Wait, can we go back up? Man accused of doing witchcraft and occult behavior. What is occult behavior? Before stabbing, killing 4 people.
Yeah, so her son killed a bunch of people.
Okay, so yeah.
So
keep going.
Do they have a bit, or do we have to actually read?
It says,
who wants to do their best newscaster voice? Not me.
A woman accused her son of doing witchcraft and occult behavior months before he allegedly stabbed and killed 4 people. Authorities were called at 8:41 a.m. on February 24th regarding a no-contact order violation, but quickly realized that the order was invalid because the subject had not been served, according to the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. While en route to serve the order, officers received reports that someone was stabbing people outside the residence. 3 people were pronounced dead at the scene, and a 4th succumbed to their injuries at the hospital, according to authorities. The stabbing suspect was shot and killed on the scene. Local outlet King 5 reported that the suspect was identified as Alexander Shablikin. One of the victims was his mother, Zoya. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that. Who was also the person who filed the no contact order. So basically, his mother had filed a no contact order against him, but it hadn't been served against him. And then there's this police call. The no contact protection order was granted to Zoya in May 2025, the outlet reported. In the filing, she claimed that Alexander had mental health and substance abuse problems and that he physically assaulted her and threatened her. Grave has already been dug up, right? So he's saying he's already dug a grave for her. She accused him of doing witchcraft and occult behavior, doing rituals in my home.
Interesting.
It was still extremely shocking, you know, because it's a son and a mother, a neighbor who witnessed the stabbing, told King 5. I just can't believe it happened because it's something I've always bragged about how small and quaint and safe my neighborhood is. So,
okay, so
the interesting thing to me is that, like, you know, the stabbing apparently happened outside of the home, right? And so, yeah, because people are calling. So it's like, was he like stabbing his mom in the front yard? Like, that's so crazy. That's like
a number of other people as well. And so the interesting bit that this article is conflating, the people one outlines a little better, is the protective order was granted in 2025 because he was practicing witchcraft and occultism. And so she felt threatened and the judge granted it under those grounds.
Oh,
which is really interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Like, for our purposes,
Yeah,
and this is like, that's a really weird reason to grant a protection order. I'm guessing there was other evidence too, but yeah, and so it was probably set to expire fairly soon, and I wonder if so multiple people were stabbed. Yeah, but why? Who?
I didn't know that you could get arrested for exhibiting occult behavior.
You certainly can be banned
Well,
from
you can be
someone's
arrested
house.
for stabbing people in broad daylight, which this guy did.
No, well, Cooper is saying that in 2025, the judge gave him like a restrictive order from his mother.
Protective order, but you can
Protective mother?
you can be granted that for like lots of different reasons. Just like harassment is enough.
Yeah,
just repeated harassment, and so you know that's enough. Like making threats, like that kind of
But
stuff. That's enough.
it didn't sound like he was. Doesn't sound like that's what that was. It sounds like it was the or maybe Cooper could we see that article on could you send the article over to
Yeah, if you click it in here, scroll down to where they mention people.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Oh, there it is. Go, yeah, that red
Just
link,
click that.
the red people. Yeah.
I might have to zoom in.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yes, honestly, the need to know covers it pretty well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was May 2025. She got the protection order. They still haven't named the victims, though, which is odd.
That's interesting.
I guess it's not clear if they died. I hope they didn't die. To be clear, I don't want them to have died, but fatally stabbed. Oh yeah, shit. No,
pronounced
damn.
dead. Yeah, at the scene.
He knifed him. Four knife kills is crazy in COD, but this guy pulled it off in real life. That's
out in broad daylight too.
It happens though.
Maybe this guy was possessed by a demon. That's why he was able to get such a high body count.
I mean, to be honest, they have the most witchy names ever, right? Like
Zoya.
Yeah, it's very Eastern European coded here.
All right, so here we go. This is where this quote comes from. That other article was terrible. But this is making more sense because this is the protective order alleged that Alexander threatened Zoya, who claims she told her that her grave has already been dug.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
right, so
there we go.
This is where, you know, the protective order is granted not because of the allegations of the occult rituals, but because of the threats made. Right?
Yes.
And so
that makes more sense.
Yeah. Because that's the legal basis for protective order is threats, harassment, something.
I figure
like
he would have had to have done something else. My son is creepy is enough for the judge to be like, do you want me to serve an eviction notice? But like, I don't think,
My son is creeping me out.
You can serve an eviction notice for that.
I didn't know that.
So it is interesting to see that this sort of is still taking place. There was, it looks like a woman in the UK murdered because of witchcraft accusations back in India. Interesting. Or was it took place in India?
Where did you sing that?
Oh yeah, it took place in India. Okay, never mind. That makes more sense.
Well, I'm sorry we didn't get to watch the episode about this. So do you want to talk about that case some more, or?
Well, I think we've kind of beat it to death here in terms of where we wanted to bring this, and I think what I found compelling about that, and if you do have a Hulu subscription, go watch it. I don't remember if Hulu has a free option, but the first 5 to 10 minutes, they're presenting the pro case. And what I want you to do is you watch that, if you do watch that, or if you look for anybody out there who believes in these kinds of conspiracies, right? Watch how certain they are. Because I think that, to me, is always the most telling evidence that someone's claims of occultism are probably bullshit. Because the way that they need it to be true and can't entertain any other kind of possibility, that's really important. Because we are in a time now where, so once these media buys go through, effectively 4 people will own all of US media, the major journalism outlets and everything. So you can no longer rely on it. And you should be very
crazy that like the days of 2008 when there was like 10 seem like, it seemed bad then.
And it was a crisis then. People were losing their minds back then. And now it's effectively, there's 2 companies that own most of the US media, and then like 2 smaller ones that effectively keep it from being a true duopoly.
So the number's gone down?
Yeah, it will. It hasn't yet, but the FCC will allow the merger to go through. And Paramount's going to buy WB, or WB's buying Paramount. I forget which way it's going. I believe it's Paramount's buying WB. Warner Brothers. So
and who bought, is the Disney buy Hulu, or who bought who? Because that
Disney bought Hulu.
Oh, okay.
Got it. Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars.
Right.
So everything.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting, and like professionally, this is my job, so I won't say too much more. But make sure that you know your local journalism sources, and if you don't, now's a great time to find them, because they do exist. Nonprofit media. Please look, if you live in the United States, search for the Institute for Nonprofit Journalism. I believe that's INJ, or the Institute for Nonprofit News. Yeah, Nonprofit News. That was it. It's INN. They have a lovely little tool that you can use to find local news for you, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
They also support local news organizations. If you want to start a news organization, they will help you do that. And they will also help you connect to a lot of fundraising resources, all that good stuff. I believe the tool is there, Find Your News. So if you search Google Find Your, or just findyournews.org, that'll link you to their directory. So you can do it by topic, and you can do it by region. I've worked with some of these organizations, like, I guess, full disclosure, I tried to sell a couple contracts to this group. They didn't buy. Bastards. But they're great. They're lovely. They're wonderful people.
Lovely bastards.
It would have been nice to make the sale, is all I'm saying. So this is if you go to the topics, it's quite a lot, and it's decent to navigate. So I would really encourage you to do this if you live in the US. If you don't live in the US, you probably live in a country that has state media. So that's actually good. UC Berkeley did a study back 2022 where they looked at the rise of right-wing nationalism in Western democracies, and to what degree did people shift far right. The United States was the most far right shifting, and then Italy was shortly thereafter. And in their analysis, they found that the single greatest mitigating factor in terms of moving the general population alt-right was state-run media, because for-profit media within that ecosystem has to compete against news that doesn't need to respond to advertisers. So even though the BBC is not necessarily the best or most perfect stalwart of journalism, or the CBC isn't always the best, right? They have their biases. They tend to be pretty conservative, pretty centralist. They have an effect on the whole news ecosystem of making everyone else have to deal with the fact that some well-respected organization is going to come out and they don't care what advertisers think, or they care less about what advertisers think. The US doesn't have that. The closest thing we have is nonprofit news, and public media, which is largely tied to the land-grant university systems, not actually the federal government. So that's a fun and complicated history into the public media in the US. And that website will help you find it. It genuinely will have, like, if you live in Chicago, there are local news organizations to neighborhoods, right? Or like New York or Los Angeles, you will have like a Black-run news organization reporting on these 4 neighborhoods in Chicago or in Milwaukee or in Detroit or in Los Angeles. They're great. They're way better. You can actually engage with the reporters. Like, I get this kind of totally went off topic, but sort of not really, because part of the whole reason that Jeannette's murder was even thought of as witchcraft, and part of the reason that these hysterias rise up, is because the media jumps on it. And the American media ecosystem has no truth standard, right?
I mean, you know what's interesting is that it's just, I mean, I think we touched on it a little bit earlier about how most news agencies were owned by like 8 conglomerates, and now it's like 2. And now I think that there has been even more of a how do I put it? I'll just get to like what actually happened. So like Don Lemon and a few other reporters were arrested, and I believe CBS they had a I think they had their offices in the Pentagon, but they left recently because the Pentagon came out and essentially set up I think a whole new set of rules, but the rules essentially were very, very censorship oriented. So they were going to review everything that came out of the CBS journalists, like what they were writing and whatnot. And there were like a new set of rules that they had to follow. And
yeah, the government had to basically approve whatever they were going to write if they wanted access to the Pentagon. That's what you're referring to. Now you're saying people were arrested? What?
Yeah, so like, or maybe not arrested, but like Don Lemon. I mean, it was on the news. Don Lemon was.
I remember them storming out and saying they're not going to be there anymore. I remember that.
Charged. There we go. I think he was charged.
That's the anti-church, the ICE protest. So Don Lemon and a number of other journalists they interrupted a church service where they were like they were pro-ICE in the service. I believe he got arrested as part of that.
Maybe he was pulled out of the network. That might have been what it was. Let's see.
He was he offered to turn himself in, but agents were sent for him anyway. Yeah, he was released without bond. But yeah, so he was arrested, but I don't know that he was actually charged.
Okay, then he wasn't the only one. There was
It was a couple of other local journalists, but he was the big name because WCCO. So a little caveat here: CBS as a network is. Do I work for CBS at all? Not trustworthy. So the current CEO, you can go ahead and just Google that fun stuff. Big exception, though, in Minneapolis, WCCO is the CBS station, and it is a historic legacy news station. It's one of the big, like, if you know journalism, you know WCCO. And they're a CBS station. They've been CBS forever. They are the local CBS brand, have been for ages and ages and ages. And so they are the ones who went against CBS leadership to actually pursue this story. And it's part of why the arrests even took place, is because normally CBS would have said, we will bring the full weight down on, like, this is not a violation of the First Amendment. Churches are not protected unless I'm just completely misunderstanding the law, they weren't stopping them from having the church service. They interrupted it, but whatever. Just being, normally a news agency would say, we will fight this to death. So like when I was a journalist, when I was reporting on TV,
I almost spread misinformation.
my agency got sued by Donald Trump, right? So we were sued by the Trump campaign during the election, and I'm running coverage on Trump that day. And my tiny little news organization, one of the last few independent TV news orgs, was like, yeah, if you want to run your report, as long as you stand by your reporting and it's true and you can back it up, go do it. Go. So I ran here's all of the awful things that Trump has proposed and how that would affect you. And that is how most journalistic organizations have historically responded when particularly big government officials try to shut them down for critiquing them. And very recently they've started rolling over. And so the big deal with Don Lemon is that and Don Lemon was from CNN, not CBS, but CNN has also is part of that purchase agreement that's going through that will consolidate the news. It's not good, and not necessarily related to the occult, I guess. But local news is good. National news is probably worthless. Do we want to watch our little giggly one? I suppose we could probably cut tonight a little short if we need to.
We may as well watch the fun videos. I mean, right?
We've teased it out. I think it's so funny. I think you guys are going to love this. And if not, I mean, all love and respect. I'm pretty sure I saw the diva. I'm like 94% sure I saw her.
Like in real life?
In real life. Because I went to Salem in October last year.
You didn't go up to her?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Plus, I didn't want
You're
to
so shy? You, Cooper? Come
I'm
on.
very shy.
Really?
Very shy.
No.
You put a camera in front of me and I'll ham it up. But like real life Cooper, very shy. If I'm with like people that I know, but crazy. But if I'm like by myself, I'm just like chill. It's very shocking.
Yeah. So yeah, I love what we saw so far. I don't think that we ever finished
the first video then.
Well, we don't have to watch the first.
The first video is kind of no. We want to go to the good one.
This one, right?
And become a witch. Is it something you learn, or
this is actually the like
one you're talking about,
segment?
Right?
No, this
is this the video you want me to play?
No, this is.
The most powerful place that a witch works is at his or her altar. Each one of these tools creates magic in a very special way.
Oh wait, I've seen this before.
The magic wand. The power of the wand is as an extension of your own energy. So we use the wand to send our magic out into the world.
Do you
Powerful
need to say
witch
it
can
this
use
way?
just the finger. The dagger is not used for sacrifice or any evil thing. In fact, it is a weapon of purity. The smoke of the incense is the power of air. It lifts our wishes to the gods. Something as simple as a bell is a force of magical power. Sound acts as a beacon to spirits. The rattle. This rattle was handmade in the image of Anubis, who is the powerful lord of the underworld, and we use his power to conjure the spirit. The famed witch's broomstick. This is a very ancient tool because it gives us the power of flight. We use it to reach into the worlds of spirit. We fly into the realms of the unseen.
So, if these guys are hardcore witches, does that mean they're dancing around fires naked, having crazy witch sex, and engaging in blood rituals?
Crazy witch sex.
Right, yeah, that's what everyone thinks, right? Like, that's what they jump to. When you say you're into the occult, it's like, oh yeah, it's just like you guys take a bunch of drugs in the woods and like
have orgies and then like kill a baby, right?
Well, I mean, we didn't have to go that far, Hope. I thought, I mean, that's a little much, but
I'm obviously kidding. Come on.
No, I mean,
well, you're not.
No judgments here, right? You know,
a lot.
But I'm just saying, yeah, definitely judgments on another way. In another way.
I love that you guys are betraying me and you guys like Christian Day. He is a little bit fierce. He's very came of age in the early 1990s homosexual. Like, and I love and respect my elders, but I've also fought with them most of my life. Specifically that cohort. He reminds me very much. Justin, if ever you somehow for some fucking reason are watching this, I still hate you. But this guy reminds me a lot of him. And so that's why I'm a deep, deep hater, but his makeup is a little fierce.
Wait, can you also post Sarah Burr's not gonna lie?
Yeah. Comment about this because like so it says even though the Picatrix says you have to dress up for talismans, I'm lazy as hell. They're better than me. Yeah, I've definitely had different rituals where I've done like, been invoking different planets and they they'll object to something I'm wearing or they'll have some request for something for me to wear. Right. That happens a lot. Basically, interesting thing is that if you're invoking Mercury, wear a suit, all right? Like suit and tie. When you invoke Mercury, it can help. It's interesting. It's cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Also, some of the old grimoires say to dress up like a graduate student in like a cap and gown to invoke Mercury. You wear your graduation cap and gown. If you have that, you can wear that to invoke Mercury as well. So, yeah. Little tidbits, magic tidbits.
I have robes, but I also just have, like, you can also just dress nicely, right? Like, you could just wear.
I mean, I have like a magic.
I do. I just try to.
I have a magic uniform that I wear, right? And like, so, and anything I'm invoking is gonna like. If I'm wearing the magic uniform, it's fine. If I deviate from the magic uniform, it's like really just to please the spirit or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
I actually do my nude.
I mean, I do magic nude a lot, actually. I do have a real magic uniform, but magic uniform can also be a euphemism for doing it naked.
Yeah, your birthday suit.
Yeah.
Having done a number of outdoor rituals in my birthday suit, it is the best way. But it's so
it is. It's awesome.
It's so cold. Like they're funny, like, is witchcraft dancing naked around a fire? I was like, oh, if you were watching me 2 weeks ago. In fact, it was me dancing naked around a fire. But not always. So I did feel a little subtweeted by this. Has it happened? Yes. Not every time. Sometimes I look like this.
And just like the thought of like you watching this scene and being like, yeah, that was me is like so funny.
Well, and you also have to remember I live in northern Wisconsin, so it's 2 feet of snow out there. I'm frozen, my poor feet.
Oh, you're so dedicated.
The spirits appreciate it. That's the whole point.
Mm.
I mean, doing an outdoor ritual in the middle of winter, like naked, that's dedication there.
That's hardcore.
I mean, I've done it where I didn't like take off all my clothes, but I took off my shoes, right? Because it's like, that's the worst part. And it's like, all right, that's enough, right? Like,
I mean, if the spirit's a foot fetishist, that's great. But there's also like that, like the connectivity argument that I've heard for that.
Well, it's like there's like the rule that you have to be barefoot when you deal with certain spirits. Like there's certain spirits that I deal with that their rule is they won't help me if I invoke them and I'm not barefoot. So, I have to do it for certain ones. Now, if I can get away without doing that, using them, I will because of this rule. Like this rule sucks. It makes them not want to use them as much. But if it's summertime, I don't mind taking off my shoes, right? But it's like in January, that shit sucks.
Yeah, it's brutal. Actually, I'm mostly naked, if I'm being honest. The more serious a ritual, the less clothing they have on. Robes, recently, I've gotten really into. I really like that.
That's cool.
Obviously, naked underneath them, but you know,
like a priest.
I do have a priest outfit as well, but I use that for stand-up comedy. So, all right, let's
Surely
continue.
not.
I can't say very much because there's an occasion where witches do use blood in their rituals. I have many a time pricked my finger. The idea of blood frightens people, but it is the most powerful thing we have. It's our life force. Whether or not you leave your clothes on, I think it kind of depends on the group you're with. We don't.
And how fat you are.
Oh my God, that's so gross.
You don't really think I would take my clothes off?
Stop. Fake. Aleister Crowley, fat as fuck, dick out all the time. All of the people he was banging, fat, dicks out. You go to any Thelema Lodge anywhere, I promise you, there are more stretch marks than there are people. No. Fat, naked
Yeah,
people.
dude, what is it about fat people and the occult?
Magic.
Like,
because you know why. Aleister Crowley says fat men are more naturally magical because they have titties, so they feel more like women and are thus able to transcend the gendered duality much easier. That's literally what he argued, is that he was more magical as a little boy because he was fat and he had bitch titties. Same. Still kind of do. They're much more muscular lately, though. I was kind of checking myself out today, and that was fun.
well, I
Not
mean, I
relevant
guess
here.
I have magic powers then, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
We talked about this in one of the
I
episodes.
transitioned and detransitioned, went back and forth.
You're like a
Legally, I'm still female, and it's fucking my shit up. I'm trying to get this changed, and now they made it like
Rough
more
at the airports.
difficult. They're like making it more difficult legally
Yeah.
for people to transition in Indiana, and I'm like, well, what? Wait, like
I'm doing
I
what you
go back. Like,
Yeah.
like now I got to get this extra paperwork. Like it's like now I'm like it's just a nightmare. I hate it. I should have done it a year ago, but I didn't because I was lazy. And now I'm doing it when the government has decided to go like full on like schizo mode and like just aestheticize politics into like this acid trip. Yeah. So who knows I mean, I'll let you guys know if I'm able to like legally not be transgender. And it's really funny because it's caused problems where like people will like look me up and then they'll see this other name and this other thing, and like at the airport it causes me problems because I look like a girl on my passport.
Yeah. Then your gender says like female on it, so yeah. Haven't you gotten
Although I will say, so the last time I flew, both times when I was flying from Indianapolis and to LA and then back, the people checking my ID were black men, and they like waved me through, no problem. Whenever it's been a woman checking my stuff, it's always been a problem. Like, yeah, it's like they're the ones that flag me. It's always women that flag me. Like, and sometimes like white guys, but this time, like I had two like black guys waving me through security, and so when they see me looking like a girl on my passport, but then look and see me, they like I don't know. I guess they're just understand about the transgender experience or something like that. Don't want to like jam someone up, something like that.
Well, I certainly understand that the government fucks with people and tries to define them in ways that.
Yeah. So that was, and I like, this was like my first time flying using like the Jupiter talismans for this, and so it helped. I was like, so it's funny that's like, all right, try and get me through security without being flagged as transgender, and it's like get black people both way. So shout out to the people at TSA. Like, come on, guys, don't do that to people. It's like it's so annoying, and it's like, yeah, obviously you look different in your ID, but it's like, why are you like
why does it matter?
if you look at the ID, does the ID itself look
I was gonna say
real?
the
Like,
face is not that.
Unless you think the
The
person
face
has
is the
forged
face is
ID.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like unless you think the person has a forged ID, like why are you jamming them up? Like it's like obvious what's happened, right? Like that, yeah, they've changed their appearance. Like, I don't know. It's like, yeah,
excessive to say the least. But also him being fat phobic, fuck you.
Am I gonna have sex
Why
with
do
him?
you
Are
think
you
I have
kidding
so much
me?
fabric on
Oh
me?
my
I'm hiding a
God.
lot here.
Get to the diva.
This
I hope
is
this
my
is it.
witch's hat.
Because I think this isn't it.
On it, I
think
have
didn't
my
send you the video.
patron Diana of the
This
Hunt.
is great so far.
Many witches say the most important part of a witch's hat is the pitch of a hat. Makes it aerodynamic, so we can fly.
Bitch.
Stripies too. A witch
No.
must
Gandalf
have
pitch.
stripy socks.
Gandalf.
What do you think? Do I look the proper witch?
You look something.
Well, the color black is a powerful color because it sucks in energy. It's like wearing a battery. So when you're working psychically, the color black is drawing in the light, which is why it doesn't reflect back to the eye. So it's a fantastic way of embodying psychic energy. But let's face it, it also looks cool.
all right, just pausing it to show this comment. The irony of being a white man again, but still getting discriminated against for being transgender. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
You don't get your privilege back.
Well, I've also like
I think he got.
I was gonna say no.
I've been hit on. I've been hit
back.
on by like clear like butch lesbian bartenders after they card me.
That tracks.
But I said, like I've been carded by these butch lesbian bartenders, and then I show them my ID where it's me looking like a girl, and then all of a sudden they get really friendly with me and start giving me free drinks and stuff. So
lesbians want to turn men out so bad. It stresses. Oh, you walked into a mine. Every time I go to a gay bar,
But yeah, I mean, I will say though that like when I was transgender woman, I lived as a woman for almost 10 years. I will say though that Black people understood, like they were like, I never got like shit from Black people when I was transgender. It was like there was like maybe like one, but like
Yeah, there. I mean,
it's like at that point, it's like they're like I don't think it's that. I think most of the time they realize like being treated differently based on how you appear is not, you know.
There's also an interesting like dynamic in Black communities around queerness where like homosexuality is often seen as less understood than like transitioning, but transitioning tends to be very absolute. So like these categories of like non-binary and things like that tend to be less accepted, but like a stud, right? So like I forget, it was like the Crash Out Dummies podcast had Flavor Flav on, or not Flavor Flav, T-Pain on, and one of the guests made a comment of like, you have to be Black to be a stud. Like there's no such thing as a white stud. There are butch lesbians and they can be white, but a stud is specifically a Black phenomenon in which women adopt male affectation to the point of like the performance of gender is masculine, which is arguably a trans category, but like non-binary or gay or lesbian people in Black communities have still, there are less acceptable categories, and it tends to still be more derogatory, which is the opposite in white communities, right? Where we tend to be more okay with gay, lesbian, but a lot more question marky around trans issues. So it is interesting to point to that dynamic.
Yeah.
I don't know the why necessarily, but
I mean, yeah, it's not really something for us to. We're probably not the people to be talking about it.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Yeah.
It won't stop me. But
I mean, I'll just say that, like, I think also there's like
After Alex
there's
says
also
that,
this thing
I'll
about
just
like
say that.
being white and being gay. There's like less like, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's more tension with how Black people deal with themselves internally in terms of with the gay, lesbian, and transgender stuff versus how they treat like white people and people of other races that are LGBT. I think there's some kind of,
also very true.
you know, divergence there, right? And so it's like me as like a white LGBT person got, yeah, it might not be the same if you're Black and LGBT. Like, I don't know, it's an interesting dynamic, but I don't know why we are talking about this. Probably, oh yeah, my be getting stopped at the airport all the time.
Yes,
because I have a woman ID, even though I'm actually a man. God, this is so stupid. Okay, here we go.
It's only getting dumber.
Often people see witches as playing dress up. There's a dual purpose for this outfit. First, I live in a tourism town. People want to see something full blast. So we're giving the tourists what they want, magic in their lives. And the spirits tend to come to people that are extravagant and different in some way. So this outfit is actually a spell, and each one of the objects on it represents something. The pentacle is the five-pointed witch's star, which represents the human body, surrounded by the circle of protective light. These are ashes of an aunt of mine who was a very strong person in my life, and so I carry her energy here. A piece of wood that was struck by lightning at the old burying point, which is Salem's oldest graveyard. So my cape is more than just something flashy for tourists to look at. It is a walking object of magical power that stays with me everywhere.
I love the fucking dramatic like metal like riff like at the end, like
very 2000.
Yeah, I love it. Is that it?
No, it keeps going.
For most people in the 21st century, witchcraft now means only one thing: the kinder, gentler practice known as Wicca.
What I see a witch as, in contrast to, say, Wicca, is Wicca was created as a religion in the late 1940s and early 1950s based on reconstructive pagan ideas. And so it's very religious in nature, and though it incorporates magic, increasingly as the years go on, it's less and less about magic and more about worship and nature and environmental and feminist causes and things that are all wonderful but are not necessarily witchcraft.
They look at witchcraft as a religion. I look at witchcraft as exactly what it is. It's a craft. It's a verb. I don't sit on it. I do it. I'm gonna call the spirit of the mirror. This is wormwood.
Oh my God.
It brings us into a state so we can reach the dead.
I thought she was gonna blow the ash at the camera for a second. I thought she was
It's
gonna,
so much worse what's about to happen.
Friends and family long gone, come to me here. A simple candle on a dim lit night. Blessed.
She's like lubing it up.
Dim lit night.
Like, what the fuck was that motion?
Come to me here.
She's like lubing this candle up. Like, watch it.
On a dim lit night. Blessed.
She's like sensual with the stroke, with the downstroke.
Friends and family long gone.
It's like she's stroking the dick.
That's a Catholic
Come to me
schoolgirl.
here. A simple candle on a dim lit night.
I know
Blessed
she's anointing it. I know
just
she's
right.
rubbing herbs on this. Yeah.
And I look into this mirror this very hour. Every witch names a mirror. You shall be called Abraham. You shall answer my questions. Come to me, O spirit of the mirror. Come to me.
This is what
tonight.
happens when people
Bestow
worship
upon me and my friends success. What lesson must I learn? Tell.
Okay, this was not the video I thought it was, but it was great and fantastic.
I'm like,
I should call her. I should call her. Oh my god, absolutely.
I'm like, now I'm wondering, I'm like, is that what I look like when I'm doing magic?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
I
So
thought I
do you
looked
guys
more
wanna watch-
like, I was really hoping I looked more like the anime witches, not like the
Nope, that's what I always
Salem
have to
or real
remind myself.
witches. Damn,
I
I'm
too
just
bad.
I
the
think
fat white man jerking off in
I
front of candles.
basically I think I probably look like the crackhead version of this when I do magic.
Actually,
I can definitely see
it's
that.
like it's like if these
I can
people
vouch for
all
that because
lived
I've
in
seen
like
you
a
do magic before.
like me doing magic is like imagine these people, but they have like a hard drug problem and they live in a trailer park. Like
Yeah. No, 10 out of
that's
10.
like me doing magic.
That's actually exactly it. I've seen you do
Yeah.
magic countless times, and you do seem like a bit of a crackhead, I must say. But I think the more
in a good way though, right? In a
yeah, because your
magical way.
magic works.
I'm a magic crackhead, basically.
Actually.
So
it's
have
really
you
funny.
read the Hellboy comics? Because effectively that is a very consistent through line of the crackhead magician.
You keep telling me I'm Hellboy. I have not read it, but
Yeah,
you
no,
always say I'm
you
Hellboy.
you have vibes. You would fit into the RPD. I'll say that. You know,
Hellboy?
whether that's yeah,
It sounds familiar. Let me look it up.
they did 2 movies a while back that were.
I saw the
Okay.
movies.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
the movies when they came out.
The graphic novels are much. The comics are way better. You should just read them. Your local library probably.
I'm gonna be like 36 years old this year. Like I haven't read a comic since I was like 14.
Well, it's time to
You're missing
upgrade because
out.
there's a lot of good occult comics out there. That should be an episode.
Occult comics. Maybe we should actually do like a anime episode. Yeah. Get some we can get some clips.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can
Yeah.
do that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could spit them off like that. Pick a tradition.
It's true.
You want Arabic magic? Got it. You want Native Americans? Got it. You want Quetzalcoatl? Got it. You want Russian gods? Got it.
Quetzalcoatl? Wait, there's an anime. Wait, what's it called?
And it's gay.
Wait.
What is it? Midnight Occult Service?
Midnight
Occult Civil Servants.
Midnight.
It's not Quetzalcoatl. It's oh, which god are you? Huehuecoatl.
What?
I think I'm saying it wrong. The coyote god.
Coyote god. I thought this was Quetzalcoatl. I was like, that's really fucking cool, man.
No, but they do talk about him in there, and he is, I believe, a bad guy in there. Quetzalcoatl does come up in another series. There's also Jujutsu Kaisen, of course, Cardcaptor Sakura. Before that, there's the clamp masterpiece known as Tokyo X, which is also just about 2 gay wizards choosing to either save the world or end the world. Spoiler alert, the world gets ended anyway.
It always does.
Yeah, I mean, that's
world ending is like a trope.
Oh, Evangelion is a little bit gay and very occult.
Can we
What
talk
else
about
we
the
got?
Magus
There's
bride?
like all
That
these,
one's really cool.
there's a bunch
Absolutely.
of biblical symbolism in Evangelion. It's like, and like Book
Yeah,
of Enoch
very
and stuff,
Gnostic.
and like it's very Gnostic / biblical in its references.
It's good.
What is it
It's a
called
lot to
again?
watch. though. Evangelion.
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
And then they did a remake version, which is honestly better, but
I don't know.
Yeah,
So
NG
this is one thing is that I loved mecha animes when I was a kid. Right,
I
I
can see
watched
that.
like all the mecha animes. And I like the mecha games. Like I always played mech games and stuff. Like the idea of a mech robot is just so cool, right? Like it's like, how is that not cool? Like a giant robot you can control.
I don't know why. I never got into that.
I don't
Like
hate
the
it.
Gundam
but
Knights and stuff.
see, I was gonna say Gundam Wing feels like you would have probably been.
Yeah, I was like really into Gundam. Yeah.
Yeah, Witch Hat Atelier. So fucking good. So fucking also has glorious gay male leads who are depressed. Finally just caught up on the manga and holy shit. Oh, holy shit. I'm not even gonna really spoil it. It'll be out. I'm gonna spoil it though. I love nothing more than sad gay men in love this one. And I'm well. And so TLDR plotline is that we find out that like one of the characters, if he ever experiences true happiness, he'll die. And he experiences true happiness with his friend, who's kind of his lover. And they're desperately trying to figure out a magical answer to save this. But the only option is to cause the one who will die a deep, horrible despair so that he can't feel true happiness. So they erase the memories of their like moment of like connecting with each other and really having love together.
Oh
so
my goodness.
Right? So then the one has to live with the knowledge of that love and then of having erased the memories of it and then still having that person as your closest partner in life throughout the rest of your life. It's fucking so good. It's so
painful. That is so painful.
This manga is so good, and they're about to start the anime. It's so the way the magic works in this world is so cool. A little bit of a spoiler if you're going to watch the manga, but it's like 10 chapters in, it's revealed. So they believe that witches, you have to be born with the ability to use magic, but the truth is anyone can do it if you learn the system of sigils and you have the right magic ink. So anyone can be magical, but they suppress the knowledge, and so only people who are born into that class of witches are allowed to practice magic.
Yeah.
And the reason for it is that the magic in this world is irreversible and the sigils are kind of cold and direct. So one of the major early plot arcs that will be covered in the manga is trying to use magic to bring someone back from the dead and the consequences of that. It's really, 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 really fucking good. Please go watch it. Samurai Champloo, fantastic. Other great anime, Full Metal Alchemist. Duh.
Yes, I was just thinking about that. I was literally thinking about that right now.
Especially eclipses. That's pretty essential there.
Yes.
Like you mentioned, Ancient Magus' Bride. Did you get through the second season yet?
I can't. So here's the thing. I love the universe. I love the house. It
slows down.
I love the house in the English countryside. I love I love the banshee, the fairy that works in the house. Like I love her. But I haven't like formed any like attachments to anyone at the college yet.
How far did you get? Because the college is slow.
They're stuck in they've
so you got through the first core of it. Okay.
Yeah, and I just like still kind of like I'm like I haven't formed any like relationships, like parasocial relationships with any of the college characters. Like I miss all the characters from the rural side, so I think that's why I'm like kind of falling out of it. I'm like,
yeah, I get that. I struggled with it. The ending is good.
Okay,
but mostly
I watch like one episode every other day, so it's a good cadence.
It's worth struggling through, but yeah, I had to slow down relative to the first season as well.
Yeah, it's a really good show though. I mean, I think honestly it's been like kind of like a crash course into magic in a lot of ways. You learn about familiars, fairies, what else? You learn about
magic versus sorcery.
Magic versus sorcery. And it's set in England, so it's got a lot of that like English pagan mythology playing out in various episodes. You'll see like Pan show up as a character, which is cool. But I really like watching it just because it is slow paced. I do like a slow pace. Like I'm actually a little bit concerned for myself that I found Nina the Starry Bride because it moves so quickly and it's not what I expected. I thought it was gonna be like a slower paced shoujo with some like themes of ancient cultures and whatnot, but it has been moving so quickly and I cannot stop reading it for that reason. Like I should probably go back to the Magus' Bride.
So 18 more recommendations for you. 12 Kingdoms, oldie but a goodie.
I love old ones.
It's if you do Witch Hunter Robin, then put that on your tonight watch list. Probably one of my favorite anime ever. As a kid, do
you have any that are like set in ancient times? Because that's my favorite.
Ancient, yeah, sure. What's the English name? Guardian of the Spirit.
Guardian of the Spirit. Oh yes, love it. You recommended this one before.
This
Laughing
person
under the
says,
clouds.
please tell us more about how the Jupiter talisman saved you $400. Please elaborate. Sorry to interrupt you, but continue with your anime recommendations. But I
It's okay.
I
I got
wanted
like
to
4.
follow up with this person, ask them to type more.
Type more, Olives. In the meanwhile, what else did I say?
This person
Chainsaw
says
Man
12
is fun.
Kingdoms is the best.
12 Kingdoms is really good. They're about to redo it, so I would say probably just wait for the redo. Berserk, good call. Yep. If we want to get into like the sort of violent stuff, I keep clicking it at the same time as you. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Me too.
No. We're like both waiting for the other to stop clicking and then happen to time it out. It was vibe. What else is great?
Yeah, like I don't mind gore. I don't mind gore in an anime or a manga as long as the story is good. If it's just
Berserk
like senseless gore, like I can't.
Berserk is beautiful, but it is really violent. It's not like Blame or whatever, where it's kind of like, okay, we didn't need this. It at least makes sense to the story. What else is good occulty anime? Witch Hunter Robin, definitely. What else is along those lines? To a lesser extent, Scrapped Princess is really good.
Scrapped Princess?
Mm-hmm. Blood Plus.
One of my favorite movies, it's kind of like occult adjacent movies, is Kill List. It's interesting movie. It basically, it's kind of like a modern day like thriller version of The Witcher or The Wicker Man. Sorry, The Wicker Man.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, not The Witcher, with Wicker Man. The 1970s movie about like the occult sacrifices on the island and shit. Right. It's kind of like a modern day version of that, where basically the conceit is that there's these hitmen, right, that are like former military, and they start doing like these murders for this like occult ring, and then they get like sucked into that world. Called Kill List.
That sounds
really good.
That sounds really cool.
Horror movie.
Can we watch that together?
Yeah. We can watch it. It's a good movie.
Yeah, he showed me Eyes Wide Shut sometime last year. I had known about the movie for a while and wanted to watch it, but I'm one of those types of people who like has a lot of has a difficult time watching movies just because I really sit still.
I need to watch a movie with someone else. I don't like to watch movies by myself.
Me too.
I get that.
I get very antsy, and
shows I'll watch by myself, but not.
Me too. Yeah. I wonder if that's a Taurus thing to some extent, but just because there is that like Taurus element of, I guess Tauruses could sit around, but I like to dedicate. I like to watch like a full show. Like I want to watch like a long thing. I want to
really
get really into the story.
You raised that because my nephew is Taurus ascendant, Taurus moon, and he is 4 years old and like absolutely despises watching a movie. He will not sit to watch a movie, but he'll watch a show for hours and hours and hours. So that's like quite interesting.
Yeah. Alex is the opposite. He's a Gemini and he cannot watch TV shows. He just wants to know what happens. He wants to know the beginning and the end, like in one sitting.
See, if I watch a movie, I will go read the plot synopsis before I sit and watch the movie. But if a show is spoiled for me, I won't watch it. I'm the complete opposite. I actually totally get that though. Akatsuki no Yuna, that was it. Yuna of the Red Dawn, or Yona of the Red Dawn, or Yona of the Dawn. That's worth watching. That's good. Mushishi was the one that I wanted to recommend to you and haven't said yet, and I think you would really, really like it. Olive's followed up. So that's plenty of recommendations. If you've not watched Mushishi, everybody here should go watch it. It's an occultist wandering the Japanese countryside, kind of like Meiji era. So like it's not super ancient times, but it's old, sword and sandal time anyway. and he goes around and solves magical mysteries, and you also kind of uncover his own mysterious past. It's really, really good. It's really slow. It's really pensive. It does a lot of show, not tell. It's an anthology, so the episodes are disconnected, but it's really, really, really good, and it will make you cry a ton of times. But it's also just like in a beautiful way. So check that out. But let's talk about Olives and their success with Jupiter.
Yeah, so Olive says, I had to have a vehicle inspection for a job, and the one thing it was failed on was a windshield crack. So the vehicle fails the first inspection, but the garage said the employer might let it slide, rubbed the Jupiter cord while calling employer, and they let it pass, saved $400 not having to buy a windshield. It was unlikely to pass inspection because it's an old vehicle. And she says, I'm a Taurus stellium to have sort of the same thing with me. Oh, right. That's replying to something else. Sorry. Well, that's really cool. Yeah, we are both wearing green. That's interesting. That was very unintentional.
This is blue.
Looks green to me, but
Looks like a dark green.
What? Are you both on heroin?
Glad to hear the success story, Olives. That's great. Yeah, I've got the Jupiter talismans here. You can still buy some on my website, alexharper.net. There's still some available. They're not sold
I
out
have
yet. There was like 200 of them that we made, so it's like
I have a Jupiter talisman success story. So my theory with the Jupiter talisman is that it might show up for you based on, not always, but maybe it'll show up better, and it'll show up easier in the topics and in the topics that your natal Jupiter may relate to. So like I have a 3rd house Jupiter, and I noticed that I get a lot of free shit. So the not recently, but it was maybe like a couple of months ago, I got a free custom made drink at a coffee shop. I was not trying to be like super friendly. I was pretty much being let's just say that
something more recently. What?
No, well, so the banana matcha was a couple months ago. The girl
Why
made
are
me
you,
a
what,
free
what
banana
story? But I
matcha.
thought you were telling a story about something that happened recently.
Well,
Because you
I don't
opened
think
with like a Jupiter. You have the Jupiter talisman story.
Well, no, I don't think anyone's here.
Originally.
I don't think anyone's here has heard about the banana matcha story. That's why I was like, oh wait, actually, let me click that one's. I think that one's cute. Got the banana matcha. You've heard it, obviously. Trying to think, there was another one where I got something.
Well,
at the post office. I was at the post office, and the lady was making everyone buy tape to tape up their packages and stuff, but she just gave it to me for free. There was that too, and I had the Jupiter talisman on me. To her, I was being a little extra friendly. Very 3rd house.
All right.
So
I'm curious to see.
Oh, interesting.
A couple of interesting stories that I've heard from people recently. So one that's interesting is a guy says that when he rubs it for good luck in finding parking spots, and it helps with that. And that's one thing that's funny is because my magic is really good for parking spots. Like anyone, Hope, isn't it? Don't I find like the best parking spots even when we're in LA or Chicago or anywhere? Like, I can always find them.
Yeah, well, like, do you want to say why or
keep
it a secret?
I'm just saying that it's funny that it's like kind of, it's just funny that the talisman helps with that because it's something I use magic for like all the time and it works.
I don't think that's a Jupiter talisman thing though.
Well, that's not the way I use it, but it's just funny. I feel like it's my fingerprints on the talisman. It's like because I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Another story someone told me recently was that, they got a job offer on the same day that they opened the Jupiter talisman, and it's for like what they want, and it's like a promotion and pay rise, and it's like transitions them into the area they want to be. Someone else says it's also helped us find parking, and it's so hard to get parking where we live. Could not find parking before getting the talisman. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
I could have used that.
So, I mean, someone says the magical feat finding parking in LA. So the best one was I was with my friend who was like knows I do magic but is skeptical of it, right? And what's going on? Why are we like this?
I'm going to show you a fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was
Add a
Cooper.
video then. Add a video.
I will. You keep talking.
So I was with my friend. We're in Chicago. We're going to see a concert, and we drive right to the venue, which is in a busy area of the city, and we're trying to find parking that we don't have to pay for. And I said that I can use magic to do it. And my friend's like, all right, fine. If you can do that, then, I'll believe in your magic. And so I like rubbed the Mercury tattoo I got on the back of my neck and like recited the Orphic hymn. And then I said, all right, now, when you get to the next stoplight, turn right and then immediately turn left. And then we'll be parking right there on your right. And he says, all right, if that's true, like I'm gonna shit. And then he followed the instructions and there was parking right there. And as soon as we pulled in, everyone else filled it up right behind us. As we got out of the car, there were other people pulling in and filling up these parking spaces. So yeah, that was that's my parking story. And like my friend who even though he participated in magic rituals with me before, was still like, oh, whatever. They
always are.
He's just one of those.
They always are.
Yeah.
Always are.
Yeah. Okay. I love this. All right. So
we did not get a bingo this episode.
We haven't done a bingo.
No. I didn't get rage baited.
Alex floats libertarian paradigms by another name.
Hellenistic philosophy was mentioned, actually.
Was it?
So,
Okay,
yes,
right.
it was.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know that
Yes,
you guys
it
have
was,
seen
it
the full
was.
version yet, have you?
What?
I was bored one afternoon and threw together an occult chat
Yes.
bingo at your guys' recommendation. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe
someone
okay,
asked-
fine.
Sorry to interrupt, but someone asked what concert was it, Alex? It was I was going to see Pup in Chicago. They're a pop punk band. Pup. Great band. Look them up. Continue.
How have we not talked about Mormons yet? That's a shocker.
I was also surprised that Mormons did not come up.
Okay. All right.
No, we can't force it after we've revealed
No.
it. That's not
I
fair.
just want to look at the options. I just want to look at the options.
I did
see.
update. I did update.
All right, you're updating. Okay. All right.
I spelled chat wrong on one of them. Oops, I gotta fix that.
All right. So the options are Alex rage baits Cooper into a rant, drugs, Mormons, MK Ultra,
Gosh.
Hope restores humanity to the show. I mean, that's gonna be like free space. Honestly.
It was this far from a free space, but I honestly thought me getting rage baited was also that far from a free space.
Yeah. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. All right, chat drops a banger line. LPOTL recommendation.
That's me recommending Last Podcast on the Left,
right.
which I do almost every episode.
Yeah,
and I didn't this
Last
one.
Podcast on the Left is good. It is a good podcast. The bit goes too far.
I feel like the bit did go too far in some things.
Did I take the bit too far?
Which bit? I didn't think any of those bits were that bad.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Crowley, Leyline.
Compared to last.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we did get bingo because I think I did float a libertarian paradigm by another name, right? Like what? I must have said something.
You probably did.
I must have. I mean, let me think back on what I've said. I mean, because I was talking about. We talked.
Oh, I did mention Crowley.
Oh wait.
All right, I'm updating again. You guys are right. Yep.
That's true. What defines too far in Occult Chat?
Pretty far.
It is a subjective line.
It has to be. If it's bad enough that both Alex and I feel guilty, it's gone too far. And we've only hit that line a few times, but we have hit it. And there's only 8 episodes, so then, you know. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
So I guess we did technically get a bingo. Congratulations, everyone.
Woo!
I'm so proud of us.
But okay, but what was the libertarian paradigm that Alex mentioned?
Is that what we're going with for the bingo?
That was the one that I felt, if any of these were going to be claimed, because you did get a little bit, because we did talk about how you can't trust the federal government. We did talk about the corporatocracy.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did go.
You know,
I talked about the CIA, and I talked about, because I did the whole thing about the CIA conspiracy to corrupt the black population by promoting like gangster rap and all of that. Like that's people say that shit all the time. That's super libertarian coded.
No, that passes for sure.
Thing. So I feel like that. Yeah, that's
we got a bingo. Congratulations, everyone!
Wow. We didn't even have a whole 3-hour. We didn't even have a whole 3-hour long episode. Yet we are so predictable.
Yeah,
we're such a predictable bunch.
This could be turned into the most dangerous drinking game. It's very.
Should do that next time. Actually, next time we should do that.
You're gonna get pissed drunk if it's shots. No, it has to be. You have to.
Okay, we could do sips. We could do sips. I don't have a drink this time. I know. We could do sips of shots.
Adults do drink. A drink is a sip when you're an adult.
Sips of a shot.
Yeah.
And if you can multi-stamp some of these,
so I can't.
I also love that I did in fact flame evangelicals multiple times. Most of this episode was actually just me flaming evangelicals. This is guaranteed the free space. That's why it's that, because it truly in my heart, this happens every episode.
So Cooper, so I think you're gonna like our discussions going forward on this show a lot more, because like as a result of like certain like kind of like magical knowledge I've become aware of, I like hate monotheism like a lot now. So
welcome to the club.
Yeah, but like I like never liked it. I like always instinctively hated it, but like I didn't really have like an articulable like spiritual reason to hate it, like where I could stand with like firm conviction in hating it. And now I feel like, you know, the fire I can finally condemn it, you know, in my own perspective, as not just something that's like, you know, cringe and annoying and stupid and like detrimental and like bad, but like basically like, you know, like it's just everything I stand against. So yeah, I think the discussions will get more interesting.
Yeah. So feel free to send more suggestions if you guys want me to. We'll have a new bingo list every episode. The gist will be the same. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. But the free space will probably always be the same, because I don't know any other one of these that's like guaranteed to happen. But yeah, I'm very excited. Happy for more suggestions. MK Ultra is the other one, and Crowley could also.
Also, Epstein isn't on this list.
I mean, I'm surprised Mormons didn't get mentioned.
I know. I said that. I know. That's what I said earlier. Yeah.
You know what's funny is the Mormons.
It should have. Open.
I think it's because they're too open about fucking kids. You know, like it's not even shocking, and you know the plural marriages and all that. Like that's boring. It's not even shocking anymore.
I know.
It's so bad, but not shocking. There's a lot of Astro Twitter shade that definitely needs to be added.
Astro Twitter shade is a good one.
Yeah.
I gotta put these.
I mean, yeah. Fuck Astro Twitter, man. All those
Twitter.
All of it is like they're all so gay. And like in the worst way, like not in the cool way, not in the way that Cooper's gay. Like it's like Like
I've
it really,
cool
it's just like
organizations.
Astro Twitter is like, it's like everyone just going like, no, actually, like
It's all the
that's
kids
what
who
it's
got
been
bullied
so much.
trying to be popular.
Mm.
But
yeah, there is that. Yeah, that is what it is.
all the ugly
Oh
girls get to be Regina
shit!
George now.
I just had a fucking huge mind blown moment right now.
They had a glow up in their early 20s, and there you go.
Or
What didn't?
Yeah, it's early. Or there is like a bit of yeah, there's so much like what's the word, like resentment. There's so much like natural organic resentment from every single person. Not every single, obviously, but like a lot of the
it can be a
personalities
lot.
on there.
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of bullying that happens, and like
I mean, so there's this Astro Twitter egregore, right? Let's talk about this, right? So there's an Astro Twitter egregore, and it's like an ugly, nasty motherfucker. It's like, one of those things that's got like, suction cups for like mouths, and it's got like a billion different eyes, right? It's like, imagine whatever Lovecraftian horror you want.
I was
right?
going to say
That's
Yargoth comes to mind.
Yeah, that's the Astro Twitter egregore, right? And what it does is, sucks in people with mental illness, right? Yeah, it also just like it demands sacrifice. It's been like kind of destroyed or disintegrated. I mean, the Flame Wars in 2024 really kind of destroyed it. I don't know. Or
did you say
yeah.
Flame Wars?
Well,
yeah, the war, like when a lot of people left, like
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah,
That
like,
so the mass exodus that happened too.
yeah.
Everyone dispersed to Threads and what's the other one called? Blue Sky?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that Blue Sky is a lot of actuallys.
That is even worse. That's why
I've heard it's even worse.
I can't do this. I would rather be angry than actually, but in like Twitter discourse, I can't. Or Tumblr discourse, I mean. That's how I feel. Blue Sky is where the Tumblr users of Twitter went, which that's okay. I love that they have a place.
Yeah. Threads
It's
too.
just
I
not
mean,
I could see me getting into Threads, and I need to not. I feel like at 33, it's time for me to not discover new social media.
No, you can't be like that, man.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to
keep up
learn
with
another
shit.
platform.
The relentless march of time goes on.
Yeah, guess what? Guess what happens in the beautiful trajectory?
You know what my 90-year-old
I hire skinny twinks in their early 20s and say, "Go make social media." You do it, and I'll tell you the correct things to say.
You know what? I'm working in my day job today. I'm a lawyer, and I was talking to my grandpa, who's in his 90s and still practices law. I was talking to him about a case, and he was telling me, "Oh, well, go type this into the AI and see what cases it gives you, and then look them up." Right? And so it's like he is
your grandpa told you to do that?
AI. Yeah. So it's like, you have to stay up on things, because it's like, there's people out there that no matter how old they are, like will keep up with things, right? And like those are the people that are like, still doing work when they're 90, right? So it's it's good.
Dude, good for your grandpa. Good for him.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that shit when he was
I'm
like, "Oh, go
shocked.
look this up on it." He's using AI. He's like 93. He's
My
like,
parents still don't. My parents still don't understand what Instagram is. They still don't understand what it is.
Well, my grandpa's like looking up legal shit on AI when he's like 93.
Well, the fact that AI is usable by 90-year-olds is fucking crazy. Like that's
LLMs are fun.
LLMs are very fun. LLMs are
evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to get Matt back on and we can rant about that.
Yeah, I want to have that. If you guys, by the way, so if you guys have any like guests that you guys have really enjoyed in past episodes, let us know. We would love to have anyone else on that you guys want to see back on the show. So feel free to let us know on X, as we're shitting on X. Let us know on X, or here in our chat over on the right-hand side.
Also, YouTube comments as well.
YouTube comments as well.
Yeah, leave it in the comments.
Yeah, leave a comment in the YouTube video.
But otherwise, I think that's a wrap for tonight. Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah. Love Anaha and OH.
Occult Hours, yeah. We should
Occult
have
Hours.
Dabby back on, yeah.
Yeah. Dabby was cool.
Yeah, if you have any particular questions or topic suggestions that you want their perspective on, throw that in. Otherwise, I'm certain we've got 18 storylines from our production notes we can pull back out. But I thought that was great. Very interesting. Appreciate everybody riding with us on this journey. And we'll see you back here next week.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about the technical difficulties. It's Mercury retrograde. Oh, also Mars is square Uranus. It's just
honestly, it went pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
I mean, I think we recovered pretty well. And the occult bingo was great. Or the occult chat bingo.
Thanks for making that, Cooper. And thanks. I think I forgot who it was. I think it might have been, I don't want to say the wrong
it might have been
person.
Olives.
It was Olives, right?
That's who I remember. I think suggested it. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Olive, for that suggestion. We should do that.
I'm going to mix up the tiles every time so that, we can see if we manage to find ourselves a bingo each episode without fishing for them, because it wouldn't be fair if you knew what got you bingo. I like games, if that's not obvious. And if you don't know anything about my magical practice, playing games is a really big part of it. So
we get it. Your son's in the 5th house.
And a Sagittarius ascendant, baby. It's all fun and good here. All right, we'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.
Okay. Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.
See ya.